Your filming lead.
And background and action.
Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you very much. All right, let's go in there. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. We are going in here. We are not going. We are going in there. Yes. We go back. No, we do not go back. We do not go back. Look, the car's gone. It's gone. By car. We run. No, we do not run. It smells of ground decay in there. It smells of death in there, but hi. No, it's full of shit eaters. We run. Come on. This is a hospital, all right? And besides, Annie is in there. Huh? Yeah, Annie is in there. Yeah. She's in here. So why don't we just go? We go in there. We can just come straight back out with her, like right now, can't we? All right, let's do it. Yeah, what a great idea. That's a good guy.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This will be my Venom 3 teaser video. I'll explain what's going on. There's been a lot of rumors about Spider-Man crossover, and Tom Hardy and the directors in the past, like Andy Serkis, previous director, have been talking about crossing over with the Spider-Man character. I know there's lots of questions about which version of Spider-Man because this is connected to the Morbius movie, and there were all kinds of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Easter eggs during the Morbius trailers, but then they re-edited the movie to make it a little bit different. I'll explain what's going on with that. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Unless there's some big delay, Venom 3 is supposed to come out October 2024, so it's coming out long before Avengers, Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars. There have been lots of rumors about Tom Holland signing his mega deal for Spider-Man 4. We know that he's done it, but there's also rumors about him being one of the leads, like one of the main characters in Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty. So when we talk about Tom Holland getting a version of the symbiote, I think they're actually going to do that during Secret Wars now. I think they're actually trying to do the comic book thing where he gets the alien costume, quote unquote, as they called it originally in the comics before it became Venom, during their new version of Secret Wars in the movies. There was a lot of fan art of that a long time ago, but we just didn't know how that was going to play out until Kevin Feige confirmed how they were going to do Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars in the Avengers movies. This is Tom Hardy teasing big multiverse crossover previously before Spider-Man No Way Home came out.
There's a Venomverse, there's a Spider-Verse, there's multiverses, there's all kinds of canon and lore and mythology to explore, both laterally and forward in time. And I think with the right people and the right planning, it's about making the right choices at the right time, even with foresight of understanding where things may go. It's a combination of all of those in the alchemy of what it will be.
Clearly, before Spider-Man No Way Home came out, you can see that Sony was trying to figure out how they were going to connect the Sony universe of Marvel movies with the MCU. Kevin Feige talked about that previously, that Venom and Spider-Man would eventually cross over, but then revealed how those details were going to work. Then we got Spider-Man No Way Home and Venom Let There Be Carnage, and there were a couple of very big Tom Holland and Venom crossover moments.
As it relates to any characters that Marvel Studios hasn't brought to the screen yet, having been at Marvel for 20 years, I wouldn't dismiss anything, or I wouldn't rule anything out. When and how and where remains to be seen.
The Spider Menace. But rest assured, dear viewers, we here at the Daily Bugle will not rest until we've uncovered the truth behind his web of lies.
5 years? It's a long time. Maybe I should go to New York and speak to this Spider-Man.
Reportedly during Venom Let There Be Carnage, because that came out before Spider-Man No Way Home, there was an even bigger Venom Spider-Man crossover, but Marvel had the Sony people change that so that he just saw him on screen. They didn't actually meet each other together on screen yet. And then when we get to Spider-Man No Way Home, he just left a piece of the symbiote inside the MCU, I think just to leave them wide open track to deal with that however they wanted to. Like, we'll give him the symbiote at some point, but we haven't completely figured that out yet. Then during the Morbius movie, we had all the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire Easter eggs. There were some Tom Holland Easter eggs in there too for the MCU Spider-Man. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man suit and the version of the Daily Bugle is Tobey Maguire's, but the version of Oscorp looks like Andrew Garfield's one from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I already talked about all the Easter eggs here, but the extra Easter eggs that they include on this version of the Daily Bugle with the logo from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies are Rhino and Black Cat Easter eggs. Like, is the Black Cat going to show up during this movie? Is the Rhino going to show up during this movie? Sony is developing a spin-off movie for the Black Cat character. I don't know when we're going to see that, but I believe that's what those Easter eggs are meant to tease. As for Rhino, I have no idea what they're going to do with that character or which version it would be. Because the last time we saw the Rhino, it was really, really silly. I have a hard time believing that they would bring that back unless they do a slightly different version. There were a lot of clues early on that the Morbius movie was actually happening inside a similar universe as the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man. If it's been a while since you've seen Amazing Spider-Man 2, during that movie, you might remember they referenced Morbius and Venom specifically, along with a bunch of other teasers for other characters and things buried in Harry Osborn's Oscorp files. Like Zoom and Enhance here, they have a Morbius project that they were working on, they had a Venom project, so had they made Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield, they would have given him the Venom symbiote during that movie, and he would have faced a version of the Sinister Six, as they teased in the post-credit scene. But we also would have seen a version of Black Cat show up, and then obviously they were trying to set up a whole bunch of other spin-off movies too. Plus there was that teaser where he talked about wanting to fight an alien.
An alien made out of black goo once.
Oh, no way. I fought an alien too. On Earth and in space.
Oh.
Yeah, he was purple.
I want to fight an alien.
We do know that Marvel plans on bringing Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man back during Secret Wars, but that's more of like a multiverse Avengers type of movie. I don't think they're going to be in Kang Dynasty. I think they're just going to be in Secret Wars. Because there's reports about them using that movie to bring back a lot of the legacy characters like Fox characters, Fox X-Men characters, Fox Fantastic Four. And it'd be sort of like a swan song for those characters before you see a bunch of new versions in the MCU, primarily X-Men characters because we'll already have seen the new Fantastic Four. But that's one of the reasons why you're seeing so much Hugh Jackman Wolverine in the Deadpool 3 movie before Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. We'll finally see them pay off that deleted scene when they planned on crossing over Hugh Jackman with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, but Hugh Jackman at the time when they were going to film that cameo, his costume wasn't ready, so they just had to remove the scene outright. Now they can do that during a version of Secret Wars. And what happened with the Morbius movie is that they kept re-editing that movie. They removed so many Easter eggs for Spider-Man out of that, mostly because they sensed that movie wasn't that great, and Spider-Man No Way Home had just come out and was earning so much money, they just wanted to leave it alone as much as possible. Like, let's not mess with Spider-Man No Way Home's success. Let it earn all the money, and we'll just release Morbius quietly over here. But during that movie, also, they had a big crossover with the MCU version of the Vulture. They confirmed that it was the Michael Keaton MCU Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming.
Has to do with Spider-Man, I think. But I think a bunch of guys like us should team up. Could do some good.
Intriguing.
So again, right now, it just seems like they want to say that Venom 3, if it is going to feature a Spider-Man cameo with him meeting Spider-Man on screen, it will be the Tom Holland Spider-Man, but it could always wind up being the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. You remember that Sony does have plans for all those spin-off Sinister Six movies. That's what that Vulture cameo scene was meant to set up. Like, we should team up. Sony has plans for 1 billion of their own Spider-Man movies. Like, they have the Madam Web movie that they're working on right now with a bunch of Tobey Maguire Easter eggs during it. So it just seems like they have Easter eggs for every Spider-Man ever in all of their movies. Also, during Venom Let There Be Carnage, they set up this whole teaser with the Toxin character, which is meant to be the child of the Carnage symbiote, just like Carnage is meant to be the child of the Venom symbiote. At the end of the movie, Detective Mulligan's eyes started flashing, them just teasing that something had happened to him. I think they'll follow that up with either a version of Toxin, because many years ago when they started doing all the Venom movies, they teased doing all the different iterations of the symbiotes.
One of, I think, our great hopes for future films is other articulations of Venom.
But typically with the third movie in trilogies, they try to go as big as possible, biggest crossovers as possible, which is why there's all this talk about them having some kind of actual Spider-Man crossover, which they could just wind up doing at the end of the movie. Let me know in the comments how you think they'll actually try to pull that off, and do you expect to see Tom Hardy's Venom in a version of Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars? I've already done a couple videos about Spider-Man 4, I'll post links for that down in the description below because we knew that Tom Holland was going to come back and do those movies. But it includes a new trilogy of solo Spider-Man movies like we all kind of expected, made by Marvel and Kevin Feige like the previous Spider-Man movies. Same exact deal as they had before for those, and 2 Avengers movies for Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty and Avengers 6 Secret Wars. Beyond that, when it comes to minor crossovers, for those of you asking for him to show up in Daredevil Born Again, it'd be awesome if Spider-Man showed up during Daredevil episodes. Daredevil is definitely going to be showing up during the new Spider-Man movies. Tom Holland's new deal right now is just for the movie stuff, not for the TV, the Disney Plus stuff, or the one-off crossovers in other movies. And I just posted a bunch of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania post-credit scene videos about everything that they were teasing with Kang. You can click here for my post-credit scene video and click here for my full breakdown and Easter eggs video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.